Hi, Deacon John Wilson here, Education Enrichment Director for West Angeles Church. Well, here we are. It's after May 1st. It's May 2nd. And guess what? A whole boatload of CSUs are still taking applications. You know, the deadline for enrollment was May 1st. That's probably soft. Some parents sent me something that San Francisco State had extended to June 1st already. I can't confirm it, but I saw an article. I suspect Monday we'll hear more about that, but they would have to extend it because they're one of the schools who's still taking applications. Look, enrollment is at an all-time low, probably, if they have this many schools open. There's about 9 or 10. We'll look at some of them in a minute, but there's some real surprise names on that list of schools that are still taking CSU applications. It's rather remarkable. Um, why is that? Well, it's a lot of reasons. I mean, we have to talk about minorities in California here are not attending college more than they were 7 years ago. That's certainly an issue. And remember, it's the general enrollment, even among white and Asian students, it's down a little. Might have something to do with the perceived cost of college. I mean, for CSU, be on campus, it's still, 17, 18, $19,000 out of pocket to be on campus, maybe even 20 out of pocket to be on some of these CSUs. Maybe parents are just saying go to 2 year college first. Also, you're in a state where the minimum wage is quite high. For certain jobs, it's very high. It's 25 bucks an hour, 26 an hour for hotel workers. It's a good time to do hotel work leading up to the World Cup and the Olympics. You can make some nice money. Now, those are not jobs that require a degree, but that's another whole subject. But it's because students now are realizing they can do that kind of work and maybe not make any more when they go to college. That's the perception. They can look around and see what's happening in their families. This could be a real crisis for college in general. I'm gonna do a video tomorrow about selected private colleges that I waited to after May 1st to deal with this issue. And that is a lot of the financial problems these schools are having. These schools are having huge deficits, starting with USC and Chapman. I think all of that is what's contributing to this down in enrollment to college by students. It's a significant problem. Let's take a look at CSUs. You can see what I'm talking about the amount of CSUs that are still open. So here are the CSUs that are still open. I'm going to react to it now, okay? So Bakersfield is closed. I talked to somebody there. They're way over their requirement for students. That's a lot of that's population shift. A lot of the population is shifting to outside of LA City to Kern County, and these are probably a lot students are more likely to go to college. Anyway, Channel Islands is still open. All those look at all those majors that are still open at Channel Island. It's incredible. Look at that. All these majors, all their majors pretty much. Channel Island's still open. Beautiful campus. Chico State still open up in Redwood Country. It's still open. They have some nice majors. One of them is in insurance, the insurance industry, which has severe shortages right now. Dominguez Hills is the interesting one. It's open, but you don't have any majors hardly, just interdisciplinary studies. Okay? But all these other ones, East Bay, wide open. Humboldt State, wide open. These are all your CSUs that have declining enrollments. Monterey Bay, wide open. Okay, wide open. Look at that. Beautiful campus. This is Seaside. Northridge. This is one of the big surprises. Wide open. Their majors are wide open, including engineering. Look, wide open. All those made fashion design, wide open. These are some pretty health administration, wide open. Great major, a lot of jobs in there. Maybe I'll do a video on the best majors for jobs right now. Let's see. I'm still scrolling. Look at all theater arts, public health. That's a good major. Another good major for career. Want to be a teacher? Liberal studies, wide open. That's Northridge. You got to hurry with Northridge because they don't have a lot of housing. That's the problem there. But I was really amazed that Sacramento State is still open. A fine CSU, all those majors. Look. Again, this is that declining enrollment in CSU. San Francisco State. Shout out to Sister Mata. She sent me a note that they were extended to June 1st. But that's because they made their application deadline May 1st. So how can they say they're not going to take enrollment during the month of May? Remember, enrollment's what happens after you get in. Perhaps I should look at some of these dates. Let's look at Channel Island. June, look at that. You could apply up to June 3rd. I bet you they're really just going to suspend the deposit deadline. They're just going to suspend it. They have to at these schools. They have to suspend it because they're taking applications through June 3rd. My God. There's a lot of housing at Chico, too. Well, let's see what Northridge is saying. May 15th. So we got severe enrollment issues in CSU. What about down here? San Francisco State, talked about, May 1st, right? Okay, so there was another one like that. And then down here, Stanislaus, Sonoma State, fine school. I've had a lot of students go there and get great careers, wide open. They're having severe, well, yeah. Look at all those majors that are open. Goodness gracious. So what am I saying here? What's the point? Now I'll put the link to this, how to get to this at the bottom of the page. Don't worry about that. I'll give you that link. You'll see it at the bottom of the in the description block below, okay? I'll be glad to show you that. So what am I saying? Looks like enrollment's way down. I think it just means they'll be more efficient with less students. Of course, they're going to have budget trouble, which means ultimately they'll just have to admit fewer students and close earlier. I guess. I don't know what this means when you can't get enough students, in to cover the cost of the school. You're probably going to contract and get smaller and cut staff. I guess. But you should hear very soon that for up to 10 of our CSUs, there's no more enrollment deposit deadline. But you needed to do it for yours because yours may not be on that list of 10 schools. You should be glad you did your enrollment deposit. If for some reason you haven't, you can try it today. Sometimes they keep it open a couple of days. You need to make your enrollment deposit. All right. I just wanted you to know the latest, parents, as I figure out what's going on here. Remember to click like and subscribe if these kind of videos are of interest to you. We can spread the reach of our videos. We want more and more students and parents to have access to this information. There's not a lot of organizations putting out this kind of information. Like and subscribe to widen it for us and to get yourself a nice notification when we do drop videos. God bless you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye now.